I'm explaining a 2022 horror and thriller movie called Talk to Me. Watch out and take care. The movie starts with a big party where a teenager named Cole is searching through a crowded house for his little brother, Duckett. When Cole learns that Duckett has shut himself in a room, after receiving word that his brother is out of control, he bursts the door open. He attempts to take Duckett home after finding him rambling to himself while without a shirt. Cole becomes agitated and demands that everyone stop recording the scene when he notices that everyone is doing so on their phones. But then, Duckett suddenly stabs Cole. He then goes outside to stab himself in the eye, to the shock of other party guests. In the next scene, we see Mia, a 17-year-old high school student. Mia's struggling with the 2-year anniversary of her mom's demise. She believes her mom died of an accidental overdose, and is upset with her dad, Max, so she doesn't talk to him much after what happened. Later on that day, Mia travels to Riley's friend's house to fetch him up. Riley is the younger brother to her best friend, Jade. Since her mother's passing, Mia has been staying at Jade's house, because her family is the only thing that can give her happiness and hope, when she is at her lowest point in life. Mia and Jade spot a party on social media hosted by teenagers, Haley and Joss. Jade, Mia's best friend, believes that everything is just a staged play despite the rumors that they are engaging in some scary, dark activities with the partygoers. Mia wants to see for herself, so Jade decides to go only because her boyfriend Daniel will be there. Together with her younger brother Riley, they all three sneak away and go to the gathering. They eventually arrive at the gathering, where we meet Jade's partner, Daniel, who turns out to be Mia's ex-boyfriend. They are still friends even though they were once together. Sometime later, Haley and Joss introduce them to the game that everyone's into. The game is called Talk to Me. The biggest draw is a decorated hand from a medium that bears strange writing. The rules of the game are simple. Hold the decorated hand, light a candle, and say, "Talk to me." That's supposed to summon a demon or spirit, but only the person holding the hand can see it. Then, that person says, "I let you in," and immediately, they're possessed by a demon. Mia raises her hand, and volunteers to be the one who gets possessed. Haley, the host, gives her a heads up that the connection needs to be cut within 90 seconds by blowing out the candle, in order to prevent the spirits from binding themselves to that person. Mia starts by holding the decorated hand and saying, "Talk to me," and then sees the ghostly image of an old man, which initially gives her a scare. Jade is hesitant to let Mia continue the game, but she regains her composure from Haley. Mia repeats holding the hand, and she's faced with the terrifying sight of a weird-looking woman. This time, Haley encourages her to say, "I let you in," and once she says it, the spirit enters her body. Soon enough, she starts to act weirdly, speaking in a spooky, threatening voice. She points her finger towards Jade's younger brother Riley, and says, "They really like you." The door creaks open on its own, and when the time reaches 83 seconds, Joss tries to pull Mia away from the hand before the 90-second mark, but the demon doesn't want to let the hand off, and yells at Riley to run. Eventually, Haley and Joss manage to cut Mia's connection with the spirit, even though it's gone a bit over the 90-second mark. Once they've returned home later that night, Riley approaches Mia, and asks how it feels to be possessed by the spirit, to which Mia replies that it felt amazing. She could hear, see, and feel everything while smiling. Mia has such a great time being possessed by the demon. Jade's boyfriend Daniel decides he also wants to do it, which Haley agrees to Jade's request, and they'll be doing this at Jade's house that night. They're gathered in Jade's house, waiting for Haley and Joss to begin the spirit summoning game. Daniel instantly takes a seat in front of the decorated hand and recites the paranormally possessing phrase, "Talk to me and I'll let you in." What's worse is that whoever or whatever possesses Daniel insults Jade, and turns him on sexually. While Daniel is drying humping the floor, Jade's dog comes over, and Daniel licks his mouth in a sexual manner. This scene both disgusts and delights the other teens, so they immediately blow out the candle. None of them is contented, so they all decide to try again later that same night. Thankfully, Jade's mom, Sue, is out for the night. When Riley asks if he can have a turn, Jade says no since this game is too dangerous, and the others agree because he's too young. As a result, Jade and Riley have an argument, and Jade leaves the room for a moment. Riley then begs Mia to give him a chance, so Mia tells Riley he can give it a shot, but only for 50 seconds, not the usual 90. Hearing this, the boy agrees and is so excited that he goes through the procedure. The boy recites what he has to say, while Haley sets the timer on, and he immediately gets possessed. To everyone's surprise, Riley appears to be possessed by Mia's deceased mother, and things get pretty intense. At first, Mom is saying sweet and heartfelt things, talking about how much she misses her. The other teens want to cut the connection after 50 seconds, but Mia pleads for more time to talk with her supposed mom. As the time limit ticks away, the other teens attempt to cut the connection, but then, things take a dark turn. The spirit controlling Riley suddenly turns violent, slamming his head onto the cabinet. It takes Jade and the others some effort to finally remove the hand from Riley's possession. Riley is in bad shape and needs immediate medical attention, so he is rushed to the hospital. Everyone is speechless over the tragedy, and at a loss for words when the police arrive to investigate. Feeling guilty for allowing Riley to join them, Mia decides to pack all of her belongings and return to her dad's house. When Mia attempts to visit Riley at the hospital, both Jade and Sue turn her away, blaming her for what happened to Riley. The mother, Sue, tells Mia to go away and threatens her with calling the police if she returns. But as she's about to leave, she sees her mother's reflection in the window. The mother figure leads her to the toilet, where she hears her mother's voice asking for help, but when she looks inside, no one is there. The strange occurrence, Mia starts spending more time with her ex-boyfriend Daniel, and it's obvious that Mia still has feelings for Daniel. Mia thinks that her mother may be attempting to contact her, despite Daniel telling her that he didn't think Riley's spirit was her mother. That night, as Daniel sleeps over, Mia is awakened by a nightmare, and then suddenly, he sees the spirit of an old woman move towards Daniel, and suck on Daniel's foot. Afraid, she desperately yells at him to wake up. But Daniel wakes up to a surprise. It's Mia who's sucking on his foot. As a result, Daniel is freaked out and decides to leave the house right away. After he leaves, Mia appears to have taken the hand for herself, and sets up a candle to attempt to communicate with her mother's spirit. Her mom, Rhea, finally appears, and Mia can't hold back her burning question any longer. Did her mom's overdose happen by accident, or did she take her own life? Her mom's spirit reassures her that it was truly an accident, and she would never have willingly left Mia. The spirit then shares that Riley is in pain and urgently needs help. Over at the hospital, Jade is trying her best to assist Riley, but he's still under the possession, and ends up biting her. He then falls to the floor, banging his head against the wall in the bathroom. The demon inside him is trying to harm him, but fortunately, the doctor intervenes and controls the situation. Fast forward to the next scene, Mia is seen joining forces with Daniel, Haley, and Joss as they set out to find Cole, the first man we saw in the opening scene. We learn that Joss got the hand from Duckett, who we saw kill himself at the beginning. They then meet Cole, who blames Joss for always inviting Duckett, his late brother, to play the demonic hand. Cole then goes on to say that the longer the spirits stay in Riley, the weaker they become, so their best option is to wait it out. Mia, worried that time is running out for Riley, comes up with a plan. Her plan is to make Riley finish the game, because she thinks they forgot to blow out the candle during his possession. So, she goes to the hospital in an attempt to get the spirits to repossess Riley, and find a way to bring him back, but it doesn't succeed. Mia then decides to enter the spirit world to rescue Riley's soul, which she believes is being held captive by the spirits. Suddenly, in a vision, she encounters the spirit of a little girl, and begs the girl to bring her to Riley. The girl then lets Mia in, and reveals that Riley is being tormented by many other violent spirits in limbo. When she regains consciousness, she tells her friends that the spirits are not gonna stop hurting Riley. Once Mia returns home, Max, her father, approaches her and says he wants to reveal the truth about her mother's death. He apologizes for not telling her sooner and shows her Rhea's suicide note, confirming that her death was not an accident. Devastated and in tears, Mia sees Rhea's spirit. But then, Mia hears her father banging on her door, and the mother claims that Max wrote the note as a lie, and says that the spirit is imitating Max.
They're imitating him.
While the father is seen in the adjacent room. Rhea also insists that Riley can only be saved if the boy dies here. The spirit who imitates her father Max enters the room, and is violently attacking her. The actual Max can hear the commotion from the other room, and finds that Mia's door is locked, so he breaks down the door to check on her. Just as Mia attempts to stab the spirit attacking her, she ends up accidentally stabbing her real father in the neck with scissors. Later, Mia calls Jade and tells her to come to her house as she knows what to do, but it turns out that she tricks Jade into leaving the hospital, while she goes there to see Riley. But then, Jade's mother Sue shows up, and apologizes for what she said previously. Sue reassures Mia that she was never to blame for what happened to Riley, and she allows Mia to be alone with him for a minute. Now almost entirely under the influence of the demonic spirits, Mia becomes convinced that the only way to save Riley is by killing him, believing it will end his suffering. So, she attempts to kill Riley with the same pair of scissors, but she just can't bring herself to go through with it. In the meantime, Jade, who comes to Mia's, can't find her anywhere, but instead, she finds her father in critical condition. Jade quickly calls for an ambulance and alerts her mother, warning her that Mia poses a danger to Riley. Sue then rushes to Riley's hospital room, but her son has gone with Mia. Jade returns to the hospital. She sees Mia pushing Riley in the wheelchair in the distance, and quickly follows her. Mia decides to wheel the boy to the side of a busy highway, intending to end his misery. In her hallucination, she sees him as an old, decaying spirit. Ria's spirit tries to persuade Mia to push Riley into oncoming traffic by whispering that she is proud of her and that she's doing the right thing. So, she removes her hands from Riley's wheelchair, causing the incoming car to collide with something in the road. We then see Mia lying in the middle of the road, as if she's the one who was hit by a car and badly injured. When she regains consciousness on the street, Mia sees Jade taking care of Riley by the roadside. All of a sudden, she finds herself in the hospital, but everything seems weird and strange. Riley appears to have made a full recovery, and is leaving with Jade and Sue. Max also seems to have healed from his injuries, but as Mia tries to follow them, nobody can hear her. Everyone leaves, ignoring her desperate screams for them not to leave her all alone. Then, she finds herself in pitch black emptiness. Out of nowhere, she notices a faint glimmer of light. Curious, she heads towards it, and realizes it's a candle. And there's a hand extending from it. She moves to grab the hand, and then this happens. She's transported to a completely different place, at a party, and the guy holding her hand looks at her in shock before muttering, "I let you in." This means that Mia is now a part of the hand game, but now that she's dead, she's the spirit. The movie ends. If you've watched this far, thank you.